Hey, greetings, traders. You probably know about our YouTube channel, LaDucTrading channel, but I want to make sure you also know that I have a Twitter handle at Samantha LaDuc, as well as a Substack, SamanthaLaDuc.com. I invite you to check it out. One recent post that was actually a prior client post that I made public facing was in fact on Toyota and specifically this trend continuation play. So I thought it might be a good time to review why I recommended this actually last year in June of 2023. It followed through into a price target of $191, at which point we were about ready to break out into all-time highs, and I converted it to a trend, which means it's going to need some time to work, but it's very, very likely that it is going to break into blue skies and stay there, and it has. So here's a little bit of my theme. Let me review my post in Substack, and again, feel free to go subscribe. It's free. You will get the trade after I make it available for clients, but nonetheless, you will get a feel for my analysis, education, and trade setups. So let's go back before we go forward. Here was my Club Edge recommended trend, swing into trend setup for Toyota last half of 2023. November 16th specifically, TM, new trend long on watch for trend breakout. Toyota was a recommended swing ideas long back in early June on my stalking value rotation theme. It delivered and then some, first from its EV production numbers and then from its earnings report. Fast forward a few months and TM has had some pushback at my price target of $191.91, where I recommended closing the swing long for very nice gains, but now seems to have digested that level well and looks like it is getting ready to push above. So this is what I'm talking about. I recommended it right here. It then produced its EV numbers, which were record setting, and it looked fabulous, and it did perform beautifully right up into my 191.91 price target, which was in fact a weekly gap fill. So it was a magnet from a technical standpoint. Anyway, that was it. It was a long from June until it tagged, and it was September, digested a few months before it looked like it was going to push above. So I'm writing this to clients, by the way. This is back in November, so you get to see how I came across this whole setup. Today, I read that the latest car dealership guy reporting how Ford is losing dealers' trust, but Toyota scores highest among them all. I included a ratings chart. Quote, consider Toyota, which was the most trusted by dealers in the survey and scored 17 percentage points higher than its nearest non-luxury competitor, Subaru. Toyota also has the highest blue sky multiple of all non-luxury franchises. What sets Toyota apart? Despite inventory challenges over the last few years, it's been forthcoming to dealers about its departure from the rest of the EV crowd. It believes EVs are the future, but it's taken a more measured approach to rolling EVs out on lots and relied on hybrids to smooth out the transition. That's what makes a manufacturer trustworthy in the eyes of a dealer. And I hear it all the time. Dealers are manufacturers' best customer and best source of growth. End quote. This is the chart that I also included back in that November timeframe. How do you expect OEM plan changes to the dealer model? And you can see the result was Toyota had the highest satisfaction. With that, I posted $180 weekly close above is important to keep this one in trend or wait for a trigger above 192 that holds. All right, so now I'm updating for clients, right? TM position update pre-earnings. Since this November client post, Toyota has continued to slowly grind higher, but I think the best is yet to come. For example, TM trades for a very low PE under 10 with expected earnings to post 5.53 EPS versus 4.08 a year ago. Compared to Tesla, TM was at 8 times earnings, whereas Tesla was at 78 times earnings as of the beginning of 2024. Another reason Tesla has made a stellar short since 263.55 rejection at weekly resistance And TM has continued to trend higher since January 1st, 2024. So that was basically a paired trade. So I recommended swing short Tesla at that 263.55, and it literally had dropped 30%. And I recommended Toyota as a trend higher, and it was up 12%. Just seems like a lot of room for this value play to grow, especially in light of my bullish bent on Japan since April 2023, affectionately referred to as my Buffett bet. There's more of that in a separate post, but basically I went on Yahoo Finance and I was a big bull on Japan, and it has proved to really, really play out. And Toyota is, of course, a play on that bullish Japanese thesis. Moving on. Toyota January US sales posted February 1st also confirmed solid growth, up 23.3% for Toyota on a volume basis. And you can see the bullet points of strength. Toyota division sales for the month totaled 143,000 vehicles, up 26% roughly on a volume basis. Lexus division sales for the month totaled 22,500 vehicles, up 10% but roughly on a volume basis. It goes on, basically electrified US Toyota's sales for January totaled 60,000 plus vehicles, up 82.5% on a volume basis. And that represented 36.3% of total sales volume. Toyota's division's electrified sales totaled 52,000 plus vehicles, up almost 95%. The division's electrification sales represented 36.5% of total sales volume. And then lastly, Lexus division's electrified sales totaled 7,900 vehicles, up 30%. The division's electrification sales represented 35% of total sales volume. In a nutshell, I also liked how Toyota is positioned in and against the EV market, as our Club and Edge swing portfolio manager and equity analyst Tiffany summarizes very nicely below. Toyota's reporting earnings in the morning. This was the post that I had sent to clients. And I wrote, this newish trend trade I recommended is a strong hold. All right. So this post continues on about the hybrid versus EV debate and the reliability concerns of EVs. Now you got lots of data here. You should take it out. You take this little Substack for a run here and see what it says. Performance in extreme weather conditions also has some reliability issues related to pure EV. Consumer trends favoring hybrids over EVs. Lots of data supporting that. And then the pricing power of hybrids. They tend to be much more economically accessible. And then we get really to the nugget here is global sales of EVs really are growing. But Toyota has advocated for the promotion of hybrid vehicles, recognizing that consumers may not yet be entirely prepared to fully embrace the transition to complete electrification. So this is an analytical look from a fundamental standpoint on the industry provided to clients. Before the earnings release, I also let clients know this was a strong hold. The result really was outsized performance. TM position update, post earnings. TM crushed earnings. Congrats, longs. Anything above 2013-74 is blue skies with price to protect level of 195. So let's take a look at the chart real quick. This is what happened right here. Very strong. So this was literally, remember the 190, 191? Okay, and then before earnings, I'm like, I'm going to have a strong hold on this one. Looks pretty good. And that's what happened. So I kind of continued to move along here, talking about how Toyota Motor raised its full year operating profit forecast by nearly 9% and revs to 43.5. Literally, this is, you got yen, so it's confusing. But the point is, after its Q3 earnings topped analyst estimates, thanks to a weaker yen and strong sales of high margin cars and hybrid vehicles, operating profit for the third quarter ended December 31st was 1.68 trillion yen, beating the average 1.3 trillion yen profit estimate. Well done, Toyota. Now, there's a lot more fundamental earnings release data. If you are so inclined, again, go to my Substack, SamanthaLaDuc.com, find the piece that is on Toyota and take a look. Actually, it wasn't just about Toyota. It was also about shorting Tesla. Trade the hype, invest in value. This is the takeaway from all that is written above. When the Tesla fanboys were adamant that EV would replace internal combustion engines, it was fun to chase the momentum that comes with a celebrity CEO. Much ignored was Toyota's chairman, who discussed in detail why battery electric vehicles will peak at 30% penetration and why they chose to focus on hybrids instead. That investment is where I help to position our Club and Edge clients early, but not too early. Trade the hype, invest in value, and take a look at the overall returns. You got the electric year to date, Tesla down 36, Rivian down 35, Boyd even down 15.5, Toyota up 20%. And this was obviously a very strong over the top, the delirious excitement here that it's in blue skies, but it's still just starting. Anyway, point is, I will close with this chart posted by Convert Bond Lawrence, highlighting the large divergence between the former high flyer of Mag 7 player Tesla with the rise of Toyota. This is obviously Toyota, and that's Tesla. And again, congratulations, Toyota longs and Tesla shorts, many of whom are my clients. If you would like to join us, please, LaDucTrading.com, or stay tuned to our free YouTube channel, our free Substack channel, my free Twitter channel. But if you want to work with me daily, I run a live trading room. I post all of my macro and micro analysis in our Slack client workspace, including portfolios, trend, swing, and chase.
Subscribe to LaDuc Trading YouTube channel for more Substack videos and other content